Well, good morning, long haul tankers. Straight razor shaving with Longhaultanker, and thank you for joining me this morning for a straight razor shave. It's Friday, the 19th of July, 2024 at 07:30, and I've got 3 days of whiskers on my face, and I thought I'd go ahead and record. I am headed to work this morning. We shall see. Got some Tim Horton here, dark roast. I'll call in. My load is supposed to load at 8 o'clock, so the guy should be en route to the plant to get loaded. Give him 2 hours. That's 10 o'clock, and so I'll call around 9:30 and ask my 3 questions. Where is he? What's he doing? When's he going to get back? And make my plans accordingly. Let's go over the equipment that I've got planned for this morning. I don't have much of anything to laid out that I'm going to say, but we're going to use the Fritz Brock tennis razor. This is the first one. I've got 2 now like this, exactly alike, number 87, yes. Let's see here. Let's get it in. Tennis, Sullivan, made in, what's that say down there? Made in Germany. Some German word there, and I'm going to leave that to others to say what it means. And let's see if I can get this one in clear for you. Oh yeah, real nice. Fritz Brock. And delightful, just excellent, excellent. I could not wish for a better. If I was to have 2 duplicates of any of the razors in my collection, I'm happy that's it. I am very happy that's it. And like my friend Matt, Luke 3262, straight faced shaved, or straight shaved face. I don't know. Look him up. Lukey 3262, Lueke. Like he said to me, you ever find a Fritz Brock, buy it. All right, so that's the razor. We're going simple this morning. I say simple. Tobacco soap, original. And my brush this morning is going to be the Sterling Soap Company 31 millimeter boar bristle brush. I love this brush. Just a fine, beefy handle that you can get your hand around and hang on to it. So, that is that. That is that. So let's get, whoops, got a little flying soap going on here. So last night, Donald Trump gave his acceptance speech at the Republican National Convention, and what a speech it was. And so was Eric Trump's. And I hope you're keeping up with this stuff, because I've never understood people that say, oh, it just doesn't matter. Now, well, these are the people that are guiding our future, and they're laying out the plans and the principles. And, I can think of some people who cared an awful lot about our country when they died in places like Iwo Jima and Normandy and Gettysburg and so many of these different places. My dad served in World War II. And of course, I've always been concerned, and I say concerned, yes, concerned, interested in the principles by which people live by, and that might be. Of course, I grew up in a devoutly Christian home and attended services 3 times a week, every week, and went into the ministry work myself. But I'm not going to talk a lot today. But I want to make one observation. Did you notice anything interesting about Eric Trump himself while he was speaking that might have been shaving related? Shaving related. I did. And I mentioned it to my wife, and she laughed. Of course, Eric Trump wears a beard, but at about this much of his neck, is shaved. Did you happen to notice the red bumps? The red bumps. And I'm not trying to poke fun at him so much as I said to my wife, "Do you see those red bumps on his neck?" She said, "Yeah, I do." I said if he had shaved with a straight razor, he wouldn't have those red bumps. And I'll put a picture at the front of the front or rear. Uh-oh. We got commercials on them. You know what? I ain't going to worry about it. I'm just going to let it play. Because I don't know that you can hear it. I got some light jazz and bossa nova, it said. Okay, good. But I had 3 days of whiskers on my face, and I couldn't let the opportunity to record the shave go by. I'll say this too as we get going this morning, that by the time I get home I'm going to, after all this fooling around for the last 10 days, got a load, don't have a load, misscheduled, blah, blah, blah. I'm going back to Portage, Wisconsin. There is no Montana load. There never was a Montana load. Somebody messed up and gave us the wrong address and locale. It was always intended to go to Medford, Oregon, which I've been there several times, and that would have been okay. But I was supposed to go to Missoula, Montana on Monday. And when I got up in the morning and shaved on Monday morning and got myself ready to go and called with my usual call, where is he, what's he doing, and when's he going to get back to the yard? And, oh, we're sorry, that's been moved. Missoula, Montana load has been moved to Wednesday morning. So yesterday morning, I get up and make the call first instead of shave and because I went back to bed. I anticipated they were going to foul up again. Yeah, I'm on that. I called and said, I'm on that Missoula, Montana load. And by the way, this razor was honed up on an Arkansas, as I recall. This is the first Fritz Brock that I got, and I believe it's honed up on the black. And so the dispatcher comes back on and says, well, we don't see you on a Missoula, Montana load. Now, I'm just going to say that name. I don't know that anybody will care. Maybe I won't. But the name of the place that I was supposed to go to in Missoula, Montana is the same name of the place that I've been to before in Medford, Oregon. And so when they came back on and said, well, we don't see you on a Missoula, Montana load, but we see you on a Medford, Oregon load. I said, I've never told anything about a Medford, Oregon load. But the name of the place, and there is such a place. They gave me the address. The address is identifiable in Missoula, Montana. But now they say I'm on. Now they were saying, yesterday morning, they were saying, well, you're on a Medford, Oregon load. And oh, by the way, it doesn't load until tomorrow, which would have been yesterday, Thursday. So I'm calling on Wednesday. And I said, you got to be kidding. I said, okay, look, if you're going to bump me off for another day, you can just as easily give it to another driver to go to Medford, Oregon, and check to see if there is a load going to Portage, Wisconsin on Friday. And that's what they did. They checked and said, yes, there is a load going to Portage on Friday. It loads on Friday morning at 8 o'clock. And I said, yeah, you got to walk them through it. Is there anybody assigned to it? Well, no, there's not actually. I said, can you put me on it? Would you mind taking me off of the one and putting me on the other? Well, no, that's fine. I said, nobody's head's going to explode. Gaskets aren't going to pop. If you take me off the Medford and put me onto the Portage, Wisconsin. Oh, no, you'll be fine, Mr. Shy. You'll be fine. And so that's where we're at. And that's what I'm getting ready for this morning. So I'm back on Portage, Wisconsin. I knew when I got in last Wednesday, a week ago, that it was going to take them close to a week to 10 days to get back to routine and schedule from the hazards of the hurricane that blew through last week. It's just the way that, it's the way that things unfolded that it's unsettling to me. If you just want to give me 10 days off, go home for a week until we call you. And I even told them, I said, you watch, I'm going to be off for a week to 10 days. And I'm going to be right back on the portage load. And they started trying to play games. I say games. They were trying to put me on something that they knew or suspected would not get loaded. But they've got to push it through and okay. And see if it gets, it's like throwing mud on a wall and hope it sticks. Other people use another illustration besides mud. Substance. And that's kind of like what it is. And we're keeping up with the news, and we're reading and that Joe's staying. No, Joe's going to drop out. Joe's staying. No, Joe's going to drop out. And so we're happy to see that the party of Satan is in disarray. And they're just trying ever so hard to get Michael Robinson into position. You don't know who that is? Look it up. Now, I don't think Michael Robinson's going to run, because if she does, the masquerade is over, the mask will come off, and great humiliation will result. And I don't think she wants that. Oh, very nice. Very smooth shave, too. I got to thinking as I was doing those strokes there, is this the hard black or is this the conical? No, this is the hard black. And one of the reasons I know that is that the number 87 has a very clear, hard impression on where it's at there on the tang. And so this is the first one, and the second one, there's just a slight. It's not as crisply stamped into the tang. The 8 of the 87. The 8's just not as crisply stamped. Anyway, so we're happy to see that the Democrat Party's house is on fire. And I read an article last night that makes only twice in American history has a candidate run on the general election ballot that ran unopposed because the other party was unable to field a candidate. And of course, it's been quite some time ago since that's happened, but the scenario was laid out in this article that I read last night, where we may very well end up in a similar situation or exact situation where the opposing party or one of the parties will be unable to field a candidate. And of course, we're talking about the Dems now. So old Joe expires, withdraws, forced out, whatever the case may be. And yields to Kamala Harris. If he withdraws, he may not release his delegates to Kamala Harris. That would mean an open convention. That'd mean a fight at the convention, which is just delicious. Or he does release them to Kamala Harris. Well, the real point of the upshot of it all is that in order to be a candidate for president, according to the Constitution, in writing explicitly, you have to be born to natural born parents of citizens of the United States, which Kamala Harris was not. She was born in Jamaica, as I understand it. No, or was it the Bahamas? I forget. But here's the kicker. And I didn't know this until I read the article, that you have to have resided in the United States as a United States citizen 14 years prior to the age of 35. which I found to be very interesting that was there. And now that's a qualification for a candidate to be president of the United States. Now, rules have never mattered much to Democrats. They violate rules, they lie, they cheat, they steal. And we've kind of faced a little bit of this before about birth certificates and natural born citizen and so forth. And it didn't matter then, and they forced through their guy. But Kamala's going to be a harder deal. She's got a history. She's not a Manchurian candidate. Her history is known. Her parents' history is known. And you start mapping out when Kamala Harris came to the United States and her college admission. Did she go as a naturalized citizen? Did she go as a foreign student? When did she become a United States citizen? And you start mapping all that out and putting together a timeline. It don't work. So the other guy that tried to get through on a phony birth certificate generally was more loved, or at least the press made it look like he was more loved than Kamala Harris. And from everything I understand, according to the news, both Democrat and Republican, is that nobody likes Kamala Harris. And so for her to try and pull the same kind of game that the other guy did between 2008 and 2016, or I should say the two elections of 2008 and 2012, just go ask Sheriff Joe Arpaio if the birth certificate was genuine or a forgery. Sheriff Joe was the sheriff of Maricopa County in Arizona, undertook an investigation of the birth certificate and determined that it was phony, a fraud, and then the presidency that arose from that birth certificate would also be fraudulent. But those are things that have happened, and not much was done. In fact, almost nothing except Joe's investigation of the birth certificate. But now Now the spouse is maneuvering, and it's not the spouse, it's her spouse, its spouse, his spouse. I'm speaking kind of veiled. Nobody believes that Joe Biden's in control. And if he's not in control, begs the question, who is in control? Well, the same guy that I'm from 2008 to 2008, 2012. Just remember, Hillary was never supposed to lose, but she did. And that put the 16-year plan on its head, and they had to start forcing things to go through that they had planned to go through with Hillary. Here comes the garbage truck. So we may be heading to November election with no opposition candidate on the ballot. Joe's out, Kamala's unqualified. The open convention will result in utter chaos. And perhaps with no agreed upon candidate that can get enough delegate votes to become the nominee. And wouldn't that just be delicious? That's some good coffee. Having a good shave over here. So my next shave will be Sunday morning from the St. Louis area, whether I stop at Herculaneum or go on over to Mouset. Mouset Road is not actually, the town, little township there is not Mouset. That's the name of the road. Sauget, I think the name of the little town is where that Love's is located. But that Mouset is not but another 40 miles beyond Herculaneum. So it's right there in the vicinity, St. Louis vicinity on Loop 255, going around over toward, in fact, I do think it is on the Illinois side, as I recall. I hear some rattling around outside. Sounds like somebody's moving garbage cans around, but the garbage truck is already passed. They do make two passes up the street and down, up one side and down the other. I don't think I got on the lower side over here, so let's go back over here. Nope, I didn't, did I? Well, the weather reports I've been looking at show that it's supposed to rain for the next week here in the Houston area and vicinity. And so that might be some wind blowing outside, knocking the garbage cans over. Stretching is so important. Getting a good close pull, that skin taut, those whiskers stand up. Feeling good. Very nice. All right. We'll go with that. Well, since I've been moved to the portage load, I'm only going to take 2 razors plus a head shave razor with me. And I'm going to use a little black leather zipper case. And that way I don't take so many razors with me on the road. The one thing that does kind of worry me, and it's a truck driver's nightmare, and that is having some kind of accident on the road and the cab is destroyed and all your personal belongings are scattered all over the road. Don't want that to happen, carrying $5,000 worth of shaving equipment with me. I exaggerate, but not by much. And so to reduce the number of razors that I take with me on this portage load, because it's just a little 5-day trip up, I do 1 shave on the road. There's no need for me to carry up 7-day roll up. Now, it's just wonderful. I'm going to use this Dovo Colonel Conch for my head shave, but I got a little touch up here I want to. Yeah. And so I'm going to take this Fritz Brock with me and another razor that I'll use on Sunday's shave. The Fritz Brock will be a backup, and this will be my head shaver on Sunday. Well, we're an hour and 4 minutes. Let me take the occasion to say thank you for watching and to say hello to my usual crew. Bill M, Lukey 3262, also known as Matt, lives up in St. Louis area. And then Martin Test Shave Tests, Martin Shave Tests. And then Dapper Shaves, Jock in South Africa. Followed by Sean Staplefeld. And Eric, the Cajun Blade, good Louisiana fella. I got a pretty good idea where he's located. He said he was located about 15 miles to the west of Lafayette, which puts him near the vicinity of Dew, Sun, and Rain, Louisiana. There's a Love's truck stop there at exit 93 on I-10, and I have stayed there many a night. More so in the past than of late, because I haven't been on a load. You take I-10 east to get over to Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and typically around the Atlanta area, which I avoid like the plague. And most of my loads have been going either north, northwest, or, Toronto, up around Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, maybe. But I haven't been up that way in a long time either. And so here of late, it's all been Wisconsin this year, most of this year. I did a couple of Calgary loads earlier in the late winter, January, February. Actually, that's midwinter, isn't it? Now I'll try and get this. I'm going to work on this depending upon when the load gets back to the yard. I may work a little bit on this morning to get it formatted in iMovies. Now, I do believe I've gotten down to some good steel on this razor. It only took 5 years, 4 or 5 years, but it's shaving well on the head. It certainly goes down into that B and C class of razors that I have. Certainly not A, certainly not mint, but it's not bad either. But it's much more comparable to some of those B and C class. And so they're getting relegated to, I got 7 razors that I just relegate. And I've stopped using the gold dollar and the union razors for the most part. Oh, that's just beautiful. And so this is a B or C class. My grade, that's my grading scale. It's certainly not an A class. It's certainly not a mint. But I recently with that black Thiers Assard leather roll-up, I created a 7 razor roll-up with my mint vintage all-stars, and of which the Fritz Brock this morning was one of those. That's the first one out of that collection, and then the shave on Sunday will be the second one out of that collection, and then I'll be working my way through that set of razors, and then I'll go back to new production. And so this might be a good moment to make this little bit of preview announcement that something was ordered, something should be received in while I'm gone, and it'll be, well, that's all I'll say. Until. Now, Bill, you'll recognize this announcement goes to what I've mentioned to you in the past about what was coming up. So you'll know the answer to that question. And yeah, I got it. That was fun. And also, let me make this little announcement, something to look forward to, is next Thursday, after I get home on Wednesday, next Thursday I plan to do a honing video on the Zulu Gray, and I'll have plenty to say. Because I like the Zulu stone. They're hard to find anymore, except on eBay. But I'll go into more of the story. And I've told it before, but it's been a while. And there's certainly, if you can get your hand on one, they're very much a good stone. So I'll work on this video and try and get it formatted and saved. I don't know if I'll have opportunity to get it uploaded to YouTube while I'm driving later today, but likely I will after I get stopped at my Shreveport destination for tonight. And I've not had a shave since my last video, so they've been kind of continuously running here. I'm bringing this down a little bit. Okay. And that's pretty good. And that is very good. And this is very good. So we will wipe it off. I'll do a post-shave cleanup and stropping here in just a few minutes. Drop my brush in the water to soak and start the cleaning process on it. Grab my Ozma Allen block. Oh, it's very nice. Minimal sting. Oh, it's just delightful. Delightful. I'm going to put on some Panade Whiskey Woods when I go back to the master bathroom. But that's it. I thank you for staying with me this long, and I'll see you down the road.